G'day, I'm Ian Layton. Welcome to my video. I'd like to have a talk to everyone about, or everybody that's interested anyway, about a problem that I find has become more and more problem, or more and more common, with horses in recent times. And it's a misdiagnosis of an injury put down as a training problem, or a behavioural problem of the horse, if you like. And it's a problem that's very, very hard to detect if you don't know what you're looking for. But it gets missed a lot, and it's a hind leg injury that shows up when the horse pivots with the particular leg that's sore underneath him. It doesn't show up when they're doing work out on the outside of a round yard or on a long lunge line or a lead rope or something, if they're just moving along. But it's only when the horse has to pivot on that foot. And if you watch the following footage, you'll see what I mean. But that problem is, in my opinion, it's usually a stifle problem. It's pretty common in horses that are, heavy horse breeding, and I'm not saying it's anything bad about those breeds of horses. It's just that they don't handle some of the work that we ask them to do very well, especially when they're young. Probably one of the biggest culprits that I've found, I'm sort of lucky. I get to travel around Australia and I work with hundreds and hundreds of horses a year, and after a while you see patterns, and the problems with those particular horses, it comes out and it sort of looks like it's behavioural. So people bring the horses to my clinics, and in this particular case, it's an injury or a weakness that creates pain and causes a brace and a reactive behaviour. And the horse in the video, he doesn't like to get caught. I spent a bit of time with him, and I got him so that I could catch him. And I caught him 6 or 7 times, and then I did the tiny bit of work that's in the video, and he didn't want to get caught anymore, because working is an ordeal, if you like. Working is not easy for them. They don't feel comfortable doing what we ask of them. But one of the common ones, or horses I see it in, horses are worked in a way where they're having that hind end yielded away at speed over and over again. Now, a horse will handle that a few times. If you've got a particularly bracy horse, you might have to do that a couple of times just to get the horse to not hang on the lead rope so much. But if you do it at speed continuously, so some people would do it 20 to 50 times every time they do a groundwork session, you get away with that often with arena bred horses or stock horses or some of the more athletic types. But these other types of horses, and it might be just a conformation issue in one of those athletic types too, that they don't handle that very well. So it's not the only cause of that problem. There are a million causes of the problem. A horse does a lot of stuff out in the paddock when we're not there to watch them, and he takes a slip in the mud, or kicked by another horse, or an awkward movement in order to avoid another horse, or it could be travelling. They might have slipped in a horse truck or something like that. So it's not a slight against anyone, with any particular horse that has this problem, but I have seen a pattern there with that, and I do talk about it at clinics. I haven't really spoken about it publicly before. I'm not a vet. I'm a horse trainer that has come across this issue quite a few times. I've specialised pretty much in problem horses for a long period of my career. So, you come up against stuff, and I will tell you now that if they have the issue that the horse in the following footage has, they will be reactive. You'll be riding them along, and you'll pick a rein up and they'll flip over, and if they don't want to put that leg under themselves, the more you try and force it, the worse it can get. So please, do what I tell everybody I come across with a horse problem that is medical or it's a physical thing. Get a vet, get the best person you can find to look at that. In the video, the particular horse in the video, if you watch it really closely, he has a real brace in him when I ask him to pivot on his near side hind leg, and he won't put weight on that with that leg under him. One turn there, he pivots and that foot's not even touching the ground. And one of the telltale signs, this won't show up in flexion tests, it won't show up in working a horse out on a long rope or anything like that. It's pretty much only shows up when they pivot. So a lot of people miss it, a lot of professionals miss it. And, if you find you have an issue like this and you get your vet or someone, get them to have a look at the horse working like this, where you get the horse to transfer some weight to his hind leg and try and pivot. And a lot of them will do it perfectly one way, not so much the other. Although if they're sore in both hind legs, you might find they get pretty bracy. And the reason it appears to be that the horse can't learn is that, and that every day you start at the beginning again, is that you're not training that pain out. Often it'll get worse, not better, the more times you try and train it out. So it appears to be a behavioural issue if you haven't picked up on where that problem is. So just have a think about that. I'm not the world's greatest presenter, but put a horse in my hands, I can sort of uncover a few things. I've been about a little while, so but have a look at this video. It's a pretty typical case of what I see. There's just one other thing I want to say, and that is that when you take young horses, or you send your horse off to the breaker, or you start training them yourselves, and they're brought up in an acre and a half with their mother, they don't get strong like they should straight away. They don't, and you need to sort of take a little care with that hind end. If you go sort of tossing that out there, or getting them to yield it really quickly at speed over and over and over, the chances are you'll develop an issue. A foal in the wild, he's got to keep up with a herd from pretty much the day he's born. They develop the ligaments and things that hold all those joints together, and they get strong. And the ones that don't get strong, I guess, don't exist. They become prey. But horses too are very good at hiding an issue. So you watch those horses out in the paddock with this issue that is shown in the following footage. You won't see it. You might if you're really, really looking for it, but they'll make those turns on the leg they want to make them on, and they'll play and they'll run, and those horses will run. They run. When you work with them and you ask them to turn that way, they'll move, but it'll be more like a stick, explode type of deal. If if you sort of think your horse has this issue, don't ride it. I've been hurt before I got educated with this. So, you know, they will explode. And I've heard it said that, you know, if it was that bad, they wouldn't play up, but that's not the case. They'll fight to not put weight on that leg. To think about it from a horse's perspective, if you think about it from their perspective, you probably, if you've ever had sciatica or something like that, and someone was moving you and pushing you around and you couldn't really resist it, and they kept getting you to do something that was making that sciatica, you know, the nerve grab, you know, and it's painful, you're going to start resisting as hard as you can. And, you know, it's, I think, yeah, probably one of the biggest reasons why people get hurt off horses. I've seen it time and time again, but I see it misdiagnosed or missed or put down as behavioural problems all the time. Anyway, enjoy the little bit of footage. I guess it's not that enjoyable, but watch it and watch it carefully, and tell me what you think. Thank you. If I can set that up, you know, and I'll get him to step back. He's a little stuck there. So you push off on it. He won't pivot, and you can see how he gets it popped out to the side.
Yep.
You can even see it shaking. Every now and then, he lifts it right off the ground. Every now and then he'll, see that?
Yep. And aired it.
He really doesn't want to put that underneath himself. He'll do it a little bit like that, but there you know, so when he goes that way, he clears the ground with that foot, but when he goes this way,
yeah, he doesn't want to step.
Foot is the one putting all the pressure on the ground, and that clunking, and you could see that flinch in there. I don't know about backing up, but you know, he's pretty soft. You know, bring him around here, and you can see going to the right, his head comes up, there's a hole, and not because I'm chasing him or anything, but there's just a hole. You know, you only got to watch that. Like, there's a weakness there. And there it is. If you can't see that.
Yeah.
You know, so. But a lot of people miss it because they don't sort of look for it, and they're busy working on resistance.
Yeah.
Rather than looking hard enough to see what's actually wrong. So I don't really want to keep working with him, but I think that should show enough to show that